Do you get butterflies in front of a group of people? Is someone about to catch a case because they done made you mad? If so, let's talk about it. I'm me.
And I'm Mai.
And welcome to Me and My Chats. So, Mai, tell me, have you ever experienced a difficult person to work with?
I have experienced it numerous times working in a call center.
Ooh,
Now,
child, I already know.
I don't know if anybody else out there has ever worked in a call center, but working in a call center will expose you to people who are angry. Sometimes I would just answer the phone and immediately receive profanity being thrown at me. When dealing with difficult people, you have to always remember to set boundaries. Now, I don't know if you've ever worked in a call center before.
I have a
Okay,
few.
so when you work in a call center, you are going to be receiving calls from customers who usually have some kind of complaint or they have a question or a concern. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to make sure that you're setting boundaries. You can't allow yourself to slip on down into that slippery slope of, oh, no, you didn't. I'm getting back at you now. Or you hurt my feelings, so let me go ahead and throw something back at you. You have to set boundaries. And that also goes into the personal side of things as well. When you experience someone who is difficult to get along with, or maybe already irate or upset about something, you don't want to push them even further. So you're going to set boundaries for yourself. I'm not going to allow this person to make me upset.
I
Right?
push them buttons. I push them buttons. I am not the best person. I do not know how to diffuse a situation. Cause let me tell you, when I get somebody that want to get crunk, baby, I'm like, you got the right one. I'm getting crunk today.
No,
I'm getting crunk today. They
no.
gonna
For
nook, I'm gonna
me,
buck.
I have to set boundaries because I know I don't want them to make me behave in a way that I don't want to behave. Look, I'm not going there, sir and or madam or other. If you do not calm down or lower your tone, I'm gonna have to end this call. Now, I know we can't always do that when it's personal, when it's somebody in your family and they're constantly picking at you or they're throwing insults your way or they're asking you questions you really don't want to answer. You can't always say now, mom or auntie. I'm going to disconnect
Yeah,
this
you can.
conversation.
Yeah, you can.
But you can set boundaries in personal relationships and settings as well. You just do it in a kind of different way. So, I mean, sometimes people are going to poke you and try to see how far they can push you until you pop or until you say something back that maybe they want to get a rise out of you, because we've all been in situations like that. But you have to set boundaries with people and let them know I'm not really comfortable discussing that with you. Or, I know I'm home for summer break, but I don't really want to discuss my grades from the previous semester.
Oh no. If we pay it, we finna talk about the grades. If we pay it, we
But
need to
where are
know
you?
what happened.
Or maybe I don't feel comfortable with that right now, but I'll shut up when I return to campus. What about you, me? What's your go-to when you are dealing with difficult people? You said you don't care about the boundaries, you're just going all the way in. What do you do?
Yes, I go all the way in. Let me tell you. When I pick up the phone, I was nice. So if you want to get crump, okay, I'm finna get crump back. Especially if the last call I had before you, I already had to get crump. You'd have caught the right one on the right day.
Oh,
You'd have caught the right one on the right day.
okay.
And then I'm gonna let you know. If you hollering, I'm gonna let you know. I can't hear you while you hollering, so you're gonna have to calm down and call back. I had to get my tail out the call center because they was gonna call me out and tell me to go home.
I understand because I mean it can be draining. I really had to get out the call center for those purposes as well. But I'm an introvert. And also, when I was growing up, I did experience some form of social anxiety when I would have to do something in the public or say, give a speech or have to say something to a large group. It always gave me like anxiety. I would worry about it for a while before I had to do it. What about you, Me? How do you deal with something like that?
Well, I'm a cosplayer. So when I first started cosplaying and I went to my first big convention in full cosplay, the reactions I got from people made me nervous. I was nervous at my skin because I've never experienced a large group of people wanting to come up and take pictures with me and talk to me and ask about my cosplay. And it was basically cosplay that brought me through my anxiety because I had to tell myself, okay, will Storm act this way? Like, girl, you're Storm today. And Storm is not gonna get here and draw back. Storm is going to go all out and do what she do, and you have to do that. And when I say that I had to learn how to hold my own hand and push forward, you have to learn to hold your own hand.
Right. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Me, because I believe that most of the fears that we experience a result of social anxiety, they're based on our desire to not want to fail or to feel rejected in some way. And I think once we start to kind of like embrace the idea that we will fail at something, like we're going to make mistakes and we're going to, say something or do something wrong. Once we kind of embrace that idea, I think then we'll start to kind of overcome the concept of having that kind of anxiety whenever we have to go out and do something, because failing is a way for us to learn. I definitely had to confront my fears when it came to like overcoming social anxiety. Like I said before, I'm an introvert. When I was younger, I was very shy, and whenever I would go somewhere new, my first thought was that the people there are not gonna like me, or they gonna think I'm weird, just because that was my perception from my experience growing up was just like people don't like you or people don't accept you, and I kind of kept that perspective as an adult, but I kind of had to confront my fear. So, when you apply for new jobs and things, you have to prepare for interviews. And a large part of the interview process in the company that I'm with required you to do presentations in front of panels of people. The worst for somebody with social anxiety or somebody who's an introvert, because it requires you to step out of your comfort zone. You have to prepare some kind of presentation on something you may not even be too familiar with, but stepping out of that comfort zone really forced me to overcome that. It kind of made me face my fear, like, what's the worst that could happen? They're not gonna like you. That's it. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna get fired from your current position. Go for it. And when I tell you, Me, every time I've done it, I've always received like high marks, even if I stumble over something, even if I'm shaking, even if I'm scared and I do it. They always say, wow, you know what? You did a good job. And that just kind of encouraged me, like, you know what? I feel like we all have a fear of something, but if you kind of face it head on, regardless of how you did, you're going to feel better and you're going to feel proud of yourself for doing that.
But I have to ask you, why or when did you feel like when you were younger, that you were awkward or they're not gonna like you? Like what happened that made you feel that way?
When I was in school, like when I would go to different schools, like I want to think maybe I went to 3 different elementary schools. And being the new kid, that's already something that people or kids really, I'll say that's something that kids don't really understand, because it's like, who's this new person that we don't know? You don't belong, because we all been here since we were babies. Like, who are you? So
Okay, yeah, I get that because we did go to different elementary schools. For whatever reason, I don't really think we really ever went to the same elementary school except one, but you went to a lot of different schools that I never even went to.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so I don't know how that ended up happening. Like now that I think about it, like why did Mari go to so many different schools that I never even went to? But yeah, you did have to go to a lot of schools that I never went to. So I can see that you really had to kind of face those fears alone, because at first I'm sitting here thinking like, well, most of the time we were mainly together. Like once you entered middle school, they knew you as my little sister. If you were coming in being weird, you weren't being as weird as I was. So
I already told you the first and the best way for me was to confront the fear head on. But some other things that I always do when I know that I'm going to be in some kind of social environment or somewhere that's going to really put me outside of my comfort zone, the first thing that I do, I always make sure that I get a full night's rest, because I never want to go somewhere where I have to present something or be in front of people and I'm tired. It's already going to be something that maybe makes you nervous, maybe have you a little antsy, and you don't want to add sleepiness on top of that. Because I already know sometimes when I get sleepy, I start to behave a little funny.
mm, well, see, I know for me, I have to look good. If I'm going to be around a group of people where I have to present myself, I have to look good, because when I look good, I'm just like, okay, it's nothing that y'all can say to make me feel like I want to go hide, because I know I look good.
Right, right. When you
I
look good, you feel good.
You feel great.
Yes, I can agree with that one, me. When you look good and you feel like you look good, you feel like you can take on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do something that helps you to relax. I like to take warm bubble baths if I know that I have something big ahead of me the next day. Gonna take a bath. It's gonna help me to calm down. Or even drinking something warm like warm tea. That helps me kind of to unwind, or if I have nerves, that kind of help me to really kind of calm down and soothe my muscles before something big or something I think might be potentially stressful.
The best suggestion for me is really holding my own hand physically, grabbing my hand, holding my hand, and going ahead and doing whatever it is that I'm going to do. Holding your own hand, oh, it helps out so much. And then being confident in yourself. You have to be confident.
And I'm glad you said that, me, because it's very important to encourage yourself and to have people in your corner who are encouraging you. Prayer and meditation is also a really good way to kind of have that encouragement. And lastly, I want to say, if you or anyone out there is constantly feeling like you're anxious whenever you have to do something and you've tried everything out there, don't feel bad about going to see a professional, because there are times when you encounter things that you need somebody to talk with. You need somebody who's going to be in your corner. And if you can't find anything that's helping you, they'll come up with something and a treatment that can get you to where you want or need to be.
And then also, I just want to put out there that if you are going to go do an event and you're having those butterflies, just leave me and Maya a comment and let us know. We'll definitely get to you to give you those last little few words of encouragement before you take the stage.
Absolutely. And we want to know, do you guys experience social anxiety? What are you doing to try to combat those feelings? And what do you do when you encounter difficult people? Leave your comments below and let us know what you'd like to hear from us next.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Subscribe, y'all.
Next
Subscribe.
time.
Bye.
Bye.